Let's hear now from Julia Gillard. This is what she says about next year and what it ought to represent.
I intend for 2011 to be defined less by politics and more by government. Australians do not face a federal election next year or the year after. Australians do not want their government to campaign. Australians want their government to govern.
So it's about policy, not politics. That's something that they've clearly learned from the Rudd period, and whether, in fact, they can bring it about is the trick.
I think Julia Gillard has a lot to overcome over the last 2.5 months or so. Since the formation of the minority government, her energies have been almost entirely directed at preserving that government. And at the end of the parliamentary year, she essentially was celebrating. Look, 54 bills we passed, even though we're in minority government. I mean, 51 of them were sort of don't shoot Bambi bills.
The measurement amendment bill, literally.
I mean, nothing controversial. But to the government, the main objective of these last few months was pure survival. I've got to tell you, out there, voters think, well, look, well, thank you very much, but what about us? What are you going to do for us? Not just, Labor Party survival. So next year, she's got to get back into the ring and establish with voters that she's going to introduce things that affect them directly, and it's not just about her own keeping her own job.
Well,
but Malcolm, isn't that what's called politics? I don't understand. How do you disentangle government and politics?
Well, you're an effective leader, and that's what she's got to become.
Sure.
I'm not saying that she had particularly many more choices over the last few months, but I'm just saying that's the position she's in now.
I don't see how she can sort of suggest this purist, 2011 is going to be this purist time when we govern and don't politic. If she doesn't politic like crazy, she's not going to govern.
Yeah.
But would you say, though, the agenda that she confronts, and it's huge when you look at issues like health and the Murray-Darling and bedding down the NBN thing and climate change, if she was just to get an outcome on some of those, or perhaps all of them, then that would be a good year's work?
I think that would be an enormous year's work when you consider all the problems in front of each of those issues. First, actually getting through all the policy difficulties that she's inherited from the government in which she was Deputy Prime Minister, but in any event. Then to get them past the states, then to get them past the Parliament, the minority Parliament, and then to get them past the states. I mean, she's got a lot of hurdles on every single one of them.
Yeah, and